Hi guys, welcome to How to Trick Fish, where today I'm going to be talking about the value of bass spinning reels. I'm going to talk through a range of reels. I'll start from the top and just get straight in there. Shimano Stellar 3000, currently £540. Lots of people that have told me about it, so it's an extremely smooth reel, pretty decent on the water resistance. Obviously, I haven't got any details on that because I haven't used it, but it should be a pretty decent reel. At £540, it's the top of the range from this list. The Penn Authority 2500, it's my go-to bass spinning reel this year. It's £350. It's a lot smoother than the other Penn reels that I've had before. Really, really like using it. If you've ever had loads of problems around line lay, and you might have seen that as well. The line lay problems are easily solvable. You come with drag washers in the bag. You change the washers around, and obviously you get yourself set up. And for mine, I actually just took a washer off, and then that sorted the line out perfectly. I don't really have any problems with not apart from ones that are man-made or like human error. So pretty decent reel. I'll jump on to the next one. So like I said, £300 for that one. The Daiwa Saltist 3000, but don't have one here to show you. But I wanted to get some sort of higher range, different brands. So the Daiwa Saltist, it is a mag sealed bass spinning reel and has decent smoothness, as all Daiwas seem to. The Daiwas are really, really good, even the very, very cheapest range. Shimano Vanford 3000, one of the most popular reels in the UK at the moment. I know that they are extremely smooth and they do come with some mag sealing. I wouldn't be wanting to be dunking them regularly. I think they get a bit scratchy if they're not looked after brilliantly. So you might want to consider about wave fishing if you're using those. The Penn Slammer IV, I've got one of these. I've got 2500 size I was using last season, and it's not the smoothest reel in the world. And I don't actually care too much about the smoothness. I've mentioned before my blog post in the past how I like to feel a bit more with my reel. But if you like a smoother reel, you want to go for something like the Authority or one of the Shimano's or even a similar price than Daiwas. And what I will say about these is the saltwater resistance is obviously really, really good. You can dunk these no problem. You don't have to worry about it. They really, really do take abusing. Proper sort of workhorses, everyone knows. Same issues with the line there. You can solve it with washers. This one again, I changed the washer on it. Never had a problem with it apart from human error. And going on next is the Daiwa. I mentioned the price of that, right? You can pick that up for about 170 at the moment. I think when they first came out, they were around 250. So yeah, 170 for a reel that lasts years and years, really good value. Daiwa BG Mag Sealed 3000, currently £130. Again, they do come with some sealing, but I wouldn't want to be dunking it. Really, really nice, really, really smooth reels. I don't have one here to show you. Penn Pursuit IV, I do have one, but it's out in the garage. It's on my son's fishing rod. And it's £70 spinning reel, which is ridiculously cheap. And it is Penn, so it's a workhorse. It's got pretty good saltwater distance, but obviously it's not got the same sort of IPX ratings as the Slammers and the Authorities. But for £70, it's a pretty decent reel. It's actually pretty smooth as well. I was really surprised when we got that one how smooth it was in comparison to the Slammer, for example. I don't know how long it'll last. We've only had it going for 4 or 5 months, but it's not had any problems in that time. It's not really been rinsed much. It's definitely not been serviced, and it's still going strong. And then lastly, it's the cheapest reel, and I wouldn't necessarily advise people to go out and buy these for bass fishing, but I couldn't not talk about it. It's a very popular reel, and I do have friends who are still using these on their bass fishing rods after several seasons. And Daiwa Ninja 3000, and it's £55, and it's extremely smooth. And this one's probably about 2, 3 years old now, and it's smooth as the day I got it. I have looked after it, just gets rinsed. I do not use this really for wading and stuff like that. They do not do it at all anymore, really. But when I first got it, I did do a little bit of wading in estuaries. But if there was like waves breaking and stuff like that, I would have got in the water with it. For £55, you'll see how good a value this is. I'll put the table up quickly now so you can have a quick look, and I'll start talking through it. Shimano Stellar at £540, you can actually get yourself almost 10 of those Daiwa Ninjas. So 9.8 on the list. So basically, you can buy 9.8 of these, or roughly nearly 10 of these, for the price of a Stellar. Now, what you need to think about there is the type of fishing you're doing. If you're fishing literally from piers and rocks and you're never ever going to get your reel dunked and you don't have to worry about it, you might want to consider this as an option. And I personally wouldn't. I'm actually looking to buy a Stellar next year. But if obviously you haven't got £540 spare to spend on fishing gear, it might be worth considering a cheaper reel, and possibly not as cheap as the Ninja, maybe one of the others. But like I said, 9.8, if you're getting 2 or 3 seasons out of one of these and you're looking after it, giving it a rinse after every go, and you're getting 10 of these for the same price, you're talking 30 odd years of fishing for the same price as one Shimano Stellar reel, which might not last that same 30 years. I should imagine it won't probably last 5 or 6 years if looked after. Yeah, definitely worth considering. Yeah, moving on. So for the same price, of course, that same Shimano Stellar, you can get yourself buy 7 of the Penn Pursuits, you can get yourself 4 of the Daiwa Magseal 3000. You can get yourself 3 of the Slammers, and that's probably worth considering, depending on how, if you're obsessed with the smoothness. If you're not that bothered about having a super smooth reel, and these obviously last for a really, really long time, so it might be worth getting yourself 1 of these or even 2 of these, and it might outlast that Shimano Stella. Shimano probably will with the mag sealing stuff and with how good these are in saltwater distance. And it comes down to then how much that smoothness is important to you, but obviously you can use this almost anywhere. And yeah, but then again, if you're not fishing, if you're not wading as well, that Shimano Stella with the super smoothness might last forever, might last a really, really long time if you're just rock fishing and pier fishing and stuff like that. So worth considering where you're fishing. Then the price, moving up the list, the Penn Authority, you get 1.5 of the price for Stella. And like I said, the Penn Authority is actually really, really smooth, so it's quite a nice reel in comparison to the Penn Slammer. It's £200 cheaper roughly than Stella, and it should outlast the Stella because it's got the IPX8 mag sealing. So yeah, it's a really, really, really decent reel in my opinion. Obviously, I've only been using it now since March, but it's been out quite a lot of times. It's been done time and time again. I do wade in the estuaries up to sort of my chest when I need to sometimes, and I do get hit by waves and breakers. I've been knocked in the water several times with it. No problems whatsoever. I don't really look after it that much because I feel like I don't necessarily need to. It gets a bit of a freshwater rinse every now and again when I come home and I'm rinsing all my waders and stuff down. If I remember to get the rod out, I'll quickly give it a glass as well. So that's the only thing I've done. I have bought all the oils and stuff to look after it, but I just haven't used it yet. So and I feel like I don't really need to. It's like it's still smooth as there. Got it. Very, very. And that brings me on to talk to that one. So I think if we talk about the Authority at the price of £350, you're going to get yourself 5 of the Penn Pursuits. The Ninjas, I believe, is around 7 or 8. So yeah, for the price of the Authority, you're going to get yourself over 6 of the Daiwa Ninjas if you wanted to go the super cheap way down. Or you can look at something like the Penn Pursuit. You can actually pick up 5 of those Penn Pursuits, the same price as the Penn Authority. Or similarly, there's some really, really cheap decent Daiwas out there. I don't know how durable they are. I still wouldn't want to be dunking them, so I'd be thinking about where I'm fishing with those. I probably wouldn't be wading on storm beaches and stuff like that. Maybe in quiet, calm estuaries where you know you're not going to dunk it. There's that consideration, and you can pick some of those cheaper Daiwas up sort of less than £100 as well. So you can get 2 or 3 of them for the same price as the Authority. Similarly with the Penn Slammer, £170. You might be able to pick up 2 other Daiwas, same sort of price. Looking at Shimano Vanford and how popular it is, it does come with some mag sealing, and it's £185, which only just slightly more expensive than the Slammer now. That's come down in price. So considering how amazingly smooth the Vanford is, and it is lovely, a few of my friends have got them and I have fished with them. Very, very nice reels. So for the same price as a Stella, you can pick up 2 of those Vanfords as we said earlier on. So almost 3 of them, 2.9. So well worth considering the Vanford over the Stella for the smoothness. I don't know how long it would last in comparison, but I know people have had them 4 or 5 seasons now, and they're still going strong. And for the price of that Vanford, you can pick yourself up, obviously, a Slammer for slightly cheaper, but it's nowhere near as smooth, and might outlast it though. You can pick up 5 of those, 3.5 of those Penn Pursuits, and Daiwa Ninja, you're getting just over 4.5. So yeah, for the smoothness, obviously, it'd be fine. But again, that Vanford will probably have better sealing, or they probably definitely have better sealing than your Ninjas, etc. So definitely worth considering the Vanford. I think it's sort of a mid-range budget now that you've got some of the high ones in there. So if you've got a little bit of money to spend and you're thinking you love to look after the reel, you're not going to be giving it too many dunkings. It might be worth you thinking about the Vanford smoothness. That's important to you. Coming down the list a bit more, we're going to look at the Penn Pursuit. So like I said, Owen's got this reel at £70. It's a bit of a bargain, and it's I've got a funny feeling it's still going to be a bit of a workhorse. Obviously, I haven't got years and years of use of it. I haven't heard of many people that have had it for more than 2 years. I think it might be a relatively new reel. Before, I'm guessing they've obviously had the 1, 2, or 3 before. But the Penn reels do seem to last really well. They've got pretty good water resistance because they haven't got the anti-reverse lever on the front, or whatever you call that, reverse lever. It's another place where the saltwater can get in. So yeah, they're pretty decent reels. 70 quid, can't really go wrong. The only one I've got cheaper on my list is obviously the Daiwa Ninja. Like I said, I wouldn't advise necessarily getting this for bass fishing. I have caught bass with this, and this is what I used when I got my first bass set up. So I'm not going to say anything negative really about it. I just don't feel like you're going to get years and years of use out of it if you're dunking it. And obviously, it comes down to whether you're dunking or not. If you're buying some sort of bass reel for your kid or something like that, and they're fishing on piers and rocks, and you're not going to be wading, it might be worth considering. Like I said, a £55 that's sort of replaceable, and you step on this, you lose it. You're not going to have your heart broken as much as you are with one of those Stellars or Authorities or even a Vanford or something like that. And for the price of that Vanford, you could get, I think I said, 4.7 of these. So that might not happen, can it? Vanford. So you get three of these for the price of the Vanford story. So yeah, I mean, if you were to lose your Vanford, you could obviously buy three of these to replace it. And if you're getting 2 or 3 years at least because looking after them, it might outlast the Vanford as well. Definitely worth considering. Yeah, so what I would like if people can make the effort, please, is in the comments. I really, really want to hear what reel you're using for your bass fishing, how long you've had it, and how long you expect it to last, and what condition it's in at the moment. And then also tell me about any maintenance you actually make the effort to do. So, like I didn't say on mine, all of mine get the occasional rinse. I've never given anything a servicing yet. So, I'll probably in a couple of years' time going to do a nice little catch up video and sort of say how things getting on. Obviously, some reels aren't going to get as much use as others because I only fish with one at a time. But when people come to my house, I do give them other reels to use. So my dad came down, he was using my Slammer the other week, and then Owen used the Ninja a few times as well before I picked up his own reels. So when people come, they do get to use some of the reels. I also use them for some other bits and bobs sometimes. Yeah, please make the effort, put some stuff in the comments. And really, really interested to hear what you all think about this video as well, and what you think on the value side of things. Would you rather spend £500 on one reel and possibly have to replace it in a few years, or would you sort of budget a bit better? We had this conversation on our bass fishing WhatsApp group the other week about for certain people and how they don't look after stuff. It might be worth actually getting some of these cheaper reels, maybe not necessarily the Ninja, but something like a Penn Slammer rather than the Vanford. So it might be worth, if you don't look after your stuff very well, something like the Penn Slammer over the Vanford, even though it's a very similar price range. And we've got a friend Wayne who I fish with. Some of you guys might know him, and we know that Wayne is a bit of a dump it and trumpet and doesn't look after his stuff that well. And so we've sort of said that this might be the ideal reel for Wayne, just simply because it will last him and it should take a bit of a battering. And I know he was looking for Vanford as well. Obviously, if he gets dumped and stuff like that, it's not going to last long time for him. But it comes down to you again, what your type of fishing is, how likely you are to be dunking your reels, what sort of service and effort you put into looking after them. So yeah, just want to hear what you've all got to say in the comments. Thanks very much. Cheers all. I will see you again soon. You've been watching How to Trick Fish. I've been Lee Russell.